I am a difference maker.
Imagine all the people.
I am a difference maker.
Good morning, difference makers, wherever you may be, whatever city you may be in, whatever town, whatever suburb, whatever local area you reside in. Wouldn't you just love to be presented with an opportunity where you can million-dollarize your idea, your business, your concept, and make a massive difference in the community around you? And that's really what we're chatting about in these few sessions that we're recording at the moment is what is million-dollarizing? How does it work? What are some of the examples that we can actually present, real world examples? Because it's important, Now, there's an old saying, I think, Trevor, it was Tom Peters, I think you said it was, you cannot teach what you have not done, something along those sort of lines. I'm paraphrasing it probably quite badly, but it doesn't really matter. The principle is exactly that. If you haven't done it, how can you teach it? Too many people out there with theoretical knowledge, book knowledge, never really done anything practical with that, but claim to be experts. Do we claim to be experts? No, I don't think we do. We just claim to be people that get out there and make things happen. So, Trevor, do you want to pick up on those stories?
Yeah, the quote is from Tom Hopkins. No one can teach you that which they have not done, was something that blew me away 50 years ago when I actually read some of his books. So you've got a clue. I was involved in selling and I wanted to, this guy wrote a book, How to Sell Anything, something to that effect. And it was fantastic. And I picked that up. I always remembered that. No one can teach you that which they have not done. Is a lovely saying. But it's about experience. You know what? You were taking me down the road of memories. And I think I touched on the last session how suddenly I had this agency thrown into my hands almost by default because I outsold the national franchisor and I turned it into a franchise. And then as a result of that, I wanted to learn what franchising was all about. So I did some studies from overseas of what franchising, obviously following the models in the States. And at the same time, I was learning from the program I was selling how to invest in shares. And I was putting together groups in hotels of up to 1,000 people at a time down in Durban, groups of 1,000. And a listed company wanted to get involved in all my potential shareholders for themselves. They wanted to list. So they came down to Durban and said, listen, we've got a deal for you. If you bring all of your people together, introduce them to us, we'll introduce you to an education concept because you're obviously quite jacked up in education. I didn't tell them that I'd failed matric and struggled to only got through 2 years of varsity after a good couple of years because I was playing sport and all that sort of thing. But they gave me management control of an education franchise. So I went back up to Johannesburg, worked with these guys. By the way, all of these sort of stories, what I was involved in pharmaceutical was 18 months. Then in the management, I think was a total of 18 months with them. So I went from sales rep 18 months, I think, to management 18 months to then taking out this agency. 18 months later, I sold it out to take up this opportunity in Johannesburg. They wanted me up at the stock exchange. Stock exchange wined and dined me. It was a day when the days when they put you into boardrooms and the silver cutlery and gold-plated crockery. It just treated you like a king. But it was because I had all these people. I was an influencer, for goodness sake. We talk about that in difference makers and influencers all around the world. All of these concepts come together. And anyway, so cut a long story short, 18 months later, I was on the board of advisory board to 12 different listings. So I was involved in the boards of those. So when you get involved in those, you start getting an insight to what's on the go. And then I thought, you know what, there's a concept over in I think at the time of Chicago Mercantile Exchange, was starting to come up with the idea of futures and options. And not too many people knew about this in Johannesburg. So I thought, well, let me try and find out what it's all about. I ended up doing the Growth Protected Investment Investment Fund, which did a total at the time of 2.1 billion rand in total transaction value, numbers that were unknown in those times. But I did it from here. I'm still in my same home office environment. I did it from my desk. And it was at a time when we had this new dispensation coming in. So, you know, I'll carry on from there and share some more of that story. I don't want to take up too much time on these segments.
Oh, that's great. Thanks, Trevor. Yeah, and I think, you know, once again, you know, I really hope that you can pick up some nuggets from these stories and get some inspiration and some ideas and realize that, you know, you don't have to be, you know, the most highly educated person in the world. You don't have to be the most intelligent person in the world. You've just got to be a person of action. And that's not to demean Trevor's intelligence or his education, but at the end of the day, you know, ordinary people can do extraordinary things. And that's really what we're talking about here is, you know, just because you feel maybe you aren't one of these extraordinary people that you're locked into a paradigm. Well, guess what? We love to break paradigms. We love to change paradigms, and we love to million-dollarize things, and that's what it's all about. So give us your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story. We'd love to chat to you about your story and then help you take it to the next level if we can. So join us soon.
What the world needs now.
I am a difference maker.
Imagine all the people.
I am a difference maker.